Hey traders, welcome to, episode 667 of the show. You could be doing anything, but you're here on 80s night. It comes but once a month, and that's on the 8th. And so, forgot about it today, but that's okay. Saved it for the night stream. So, Sunday night, man. The weekly closed on Bitcoin. I've done nothing but kind of sell off a little bit. Not much. I mean, $50, $60. I closed the weekly fine. It was kind of a bullish engulfing candle if you're going to be technical about it, but it wasn't really that convincing. It wasn't a very large candle, and it definitely sold off a lot during the latter parts of the week. And try not to be too distracted with the Galaga going on in your background. It probably is extremely obnoxious if you're really trying to look at some charts, but dang, man, it was an opportunity to maybe take advantage of. I don't know. Am I the first person in the history of mankind to do technical analysis, and literally behind the technical analysis is someone playing Galaga? Is like a first, or is it no? It's been done before by so and so, right? We'll never know, man. Maybe we'll never know. But maybe history was made, and you were a part of it. Maybe, dude. All right. So, yeah, I guess we could just start it off maybe on the 60 minutes. And just look, right? It's just, you're near the top of a range, right? A $1,500 range. You dumped at the top of it. And now you are consolidating, and it looks like you're making a more mature bear flag after the impulse. But there is somehow divergence developing on the oscillators. So it's like, normally you're not looking for bearish divergence on bear pull bear flags, but against the 60 minutes. So maybe it could just be double bottoming before rallying to square up at 10,850. But we know the major area of resistance is around 11,000, 10,950. All right, so that's what I'm saying, man. It's like not that clear. 4 hours not giving us too much. But hey, man, the altcoins have been giving us stuff, and it's just been like slowly developing over the course of months, if not almost a year on some of them, with harmonics that have developed. And it's just right now Bitcoin, again, if one's trading ranges going long, they take longs near the bottom of channels, not near the top. There's also the thought and idea that XAB, maybe C, and then D's the 886, right? Potential long entry at that 9,500 area. Just a potential bullish bat. Otherwise, we know like the larger pattern is the bearish cipher, and we may never get down there again. But even if we do get down there, you're still making a higher low than the previous low, which still makes this pattern valid. That's the only time it becomes invalid, or like the potential idea becomes invalid, is when a lower low then that pivot point, that clear discernible pivot point, gets broken, right? You fall below that. You fall below 9,300, no more cipher idea at all, okay? And so, yeah, you're really failing right now to make higher highs. You're actually just making lower highs than your previous highs. And normally when you make lower highs, often you see sell-offs again until we get that divergence that really develops on daily, or the 4-hour time scale, or daily time scale, which we're not getting yet. Okay. So, man, if you missed today's stream, I know it was episode 666, but we covered a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good assets, potential trade setups, stuff like that. All right. Yeah, mostly everything's in the red now. Okay. If you want to, real quick, we can just take a gander at the weekly time scale. Oh, Mr. Peabody. Yeah, sorry for your losses indeed. Then more. How about just stream elements, Mr. Peabody, to where like they don't, you know, super chat takes 30% of what you tip. So I prefer no one ever super chatted, but most do because it's probably convenient. I would prefer everyone use stream elements or crypto, yeah, instead of super chat. It's the least efficient way to contribute to the content creator. All right. It wasn't that bad. Well, I mean, they scored that backdoor touchdown to make it look a little better. All right. It's all good, though. Or something like that. But look, man, you know, the support from April 2018, support from February 2018, really resistance support, range bound. If you subtract the wicks, it's just range bound, man. All right. So I think there's definitely price contraction going on. Slightly higher lows, much lower highs, and nothing has happened, right? And your negative momentum is continuing to build, which, you know, that's not really surprising, right? It's your first negative histogram, you know, a couple weeks ago since February 4th. The week of February 4th is where it all began that week. February 8th was the impulse up off the PCZ of the Gartley. Beautiful. So look, as long as you stay above 96.31, you're fine. But once that ever breaks on the weekly, could be very bad to the downside. All right, the same thing goes for the upside, 11,524. And it's like if you ever break that on the weekly and close above it on the weekly and get some follow price action, it could be a very big move to the upside. So yeah, I know that the let's see, it's gonna be a big move, man. Big move. All right, measured moves discussed in the day stream. Just gonna reiterate them because why not? A measured move. This is a 4,240 measured move. $4,040 from its high point to low point, and I mean, it seems like this is where it started, not here. All right, so that's being conservative, using quotations with my hands. All right, so move the downside would put you near the 786, 78% retrace from the low point to lowest point to highest point. Very deep retrace, worst case scenario, right? Break to the upside, if you ever broke the downsloping resistance, could yield you a price of 15,198, right? So big move, big consolidation pattern. Been going on for going on 70 days or something now, all right? Average corrections last 90 to 100 days. Okay. Well, you got very little room left until that apex, which is where the upsloping support converges with the downsloping resistance, the apex. Barrett, that's cool, dude. There's always the rewind button, and you're watching live, so all good, man. Neil C is drunk. Congratulations on being drunk, man. Andrew M, hi. All right, so kind of got that Bitcoin discussion out of the way. Not making higher highs. Still not making higher highs. Like it has to rally very soon for that cipher to play out 786, which puts you around 11,690. And at that price, you'd be broken out of the triangle to the upside. Jeez. So just a reiteration of the Go Tigers, Gooks Tigers. He says hook 'em. Ugh. Yeah, we had a gentleman's bet. It was specifically, I picked LSU, he picked Texas, and of course LSU won with a decent cushion, right? It was a good, very good game, but what was so impressive to me was, well, I don't even know if I was impressed because it was like I don't even know what Texas's receivers were thinking. The mental mistakes that Texas made sometimes did cost them the game, probably. I mean, come on, dude. 4th and goal, wide open receiver, drops the pass. Like, you're asking to lose a game when you make those mistakes like that. And then you can't capitalize on an interception in LSU's own territory at like the 5-10 yard line. There it is. They're the 2 touchdowns you need to man. Over. So, I said special teams and turnovers. Turnovers clearly weren't what did it. Nor was it special teams. It was the LSU offense. And LSU's defense to stonewall on that second time. You know, I think Texas shot themselves in the foot on the first one, but LSU stepped up on that second 4th and goal. All right, so having a chat for the Midas Touch. College Football Saturdays. Thanks, Andrew, man. Okay, so just looking at Ethereum, a couple ways. All right, it's like you think that maybe the harmonic's developing. Yeah, you kind of double bottomed. You had the bullish divergence on the double bottom. It broke to the upside rally, but has not yet broken the neckline of that potential double bottom. It hit it and is now kind of, wow, it looks like it's flagging a little bit. If it ever could break that $183 area with any sort of resounding effort, a measured move, I think puts you right around $200. Mr. Timmerman.
Bruh.
What up, El Rey? What is up, Jesus peoples? Glad to see everyone and everything doing things even if it's no thing. Just saying hi. Appreciate the dedication whether you see us of old or not. We are still here. Love you, brother, and as always, do not get trapped.
Love you too, Mr. Damon, man. Thank you so much for the contribution, and good to see you again. Yeah, I know people get busy, man. People got lives, so completely understand. And the market isn't being very volatile either, right? So, lack of volatility and people having lives that can sometimes be bearish divergence on viewership, sub count, sub growth, all that stuff. So, no big deal, man. Thanks seriously for the contribution to the stream, the channel, and the community, man. All right, so much love. So that's one way of looking at it. That's maybe, look, you sell off, you hit the same support, and you have that. That's big time divergence. Impending price action reversal of the upside. Boom, popped. But we look at the daily. What happened on the daily? Well, we had a breakout bullish engulfing candle. And we had that tail end bullish divergence on the RSI, where you had a low, you had the same low, about the same low, with the higher levels relative strength. That's what I'm talking about. It's the tail end divergence. You see it all the time, where you keep diverging on the MACD, and then eventually tail end divergence on the other oscillator. Look out, man. And then you got the breakout, but no, I mean, it hasn't really gone anywhere. It's daily time scale. It's slow, but it's significant, and it could take time to manifest into higher prices. All right, I'm just saying, like, on a breakout of a wedge with divergence and all that, I mean, you measure from the high point to low point. I mean, look where the 50% retrace is, $265, 618's 288. I mean, that's what you could get if this was to play out. That is like common retrace level stuff, common profit taking levels on a wedge. Okay, man, sorry. I know the Galago's crazy, man, super crazy. Of course, I caught the BYU miracle, man. It was incredible. What, a 74-yard pass completion, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds left, 5 seconds to go, kicks the field goal to tie it up, and then wins in double overtime. Beautiful. Gotta love it. Remember, I'm Alabama, so I hate Tennessee, like, pretty much as much as I hate Auburn. It's just, it's not as big of a deal anymore. We've beaten Tennessee 12 years in a row now, so it's, you know, the fire doesn't burn as much right now because of that. Just complete and utter domination of their program since they ratted us out and got us on probation in the early 2000s. It's like, who's laughing now, dude? JB said Ethereum volume increased like 200% in the past 24 hours. Did it, man? Did it? Well, calm before the storm, divergence, the oscillators, both of them near the apex of a falling wedge pattern. It doesn't get much better than that, man. It really freaking doesn't. I don't know. I don't really keep up with NFL. I go all in on college, and that's just me, man. It's not like NFL's bad or anything. It's just I don't have a connection to it, really. So, John Bracco, thanks, man. Brett, yes, I did make it. It is a vague pronoun, though, right? Do I think after this week we'll have a better general idea of Bitcoin's immediate direction? I think at any point now that volatility can be here. It can come, and a huge red or green candle, it will present itself, and it's simply because the calm before the storm, the that pattern of contraction we just looked at on the daily time scale, right? So it's going to be coming. We are about 80% of the way through the development of the symmetrical triangle, and when you get that deep any time into a pattern, your chances increase. I keep looking at the freaking Galaga, man. It's so distracting, chat. What I might do is get Jalen to like make this, something like this, but not make it as, good God, immersive, like real. Like make it more like the spaceship at the bottom is moving back and forth and they're chilling up there and they're not moving. That might be better. But yes, I think that how deep we are within the parameters of this triangle gives indication to believe that the large move is coming sooner rather than later. Yeah. Okay. All right, Allison, sleep well. Stay-at-home king. You were thinking of me. Your transplant to Tennessee. You found the creamsicle hysteria nauseating. Oh yeah, well. At one time they were kind of okay. But they are terrible now. Like, they are as bad as an Ole Miss team on going through sanctions for blatant cheating. Some of the worst cheating I've seen in years, like, probably ever in my lifetime. College football, anyway. You've been staring at the game for 10 minutes now, Rob. Man, I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I can always turn it off. It's really not a big deal. Psycho GHP, that'd be crazy, man. That'd be the most interactive stream ever, right? Hi, there's a Gardens in the house. What's up, dudes? Richard Van Bremen. Hey. Yeah, good to see y'all. I don't know. It's 80s night. Just coming by to say hi. I mean, we got most of the stream taken care of today. You know, most of the man, we covered a lot today, dude. All right, you just think here, man, like on XRP, getting invaded. Oh my God. XRP, man, has been taken by the space invaders, dudes. So, anyway, with no jokes, being serious, like you're in that downsloping channel, candle closes. Oh, it's crazy the respect you get on it, but you're holding the support. Look left. Sorry, music's loud. It sounds good though, right? Dude, wow, that's good. Dig Dug, oh my God, I remember I used to play that in like 5th grade, man, on the little crap PCs that were like this big, man, little screens. Oh, do you hear Jesus chimes? Oh my God, dude. Not bad. Sorry, dude. I'm trying to get the audio back to normal levels. There we go. I think it should be good right there. Yes, I played Dig Dug. It was a crazy game. But anyway, so you make a low on price. You run up a little bit, you sell off, you make the same low on price, and you make higher levels relative strength than that low, right? That's some divergence. You broke to the upside, but you're not able to do anything, right? You're kind of range bound, probably in the 60-minute between 24.744 cents and 26.786 cents, man. All right, you gotta break that. Gotta break it. Yeah, I think we looked at Western Digital earlier this week, man. Say the song. The song is called Surface Waves by Hello Meteor. WRAY 88.8 589 FM or something. Okay. What's up, Gritters, man? Yeah, divergence of the 60-minute, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. Not doing anything, though. You know, I always feel more comfortable with 4-hour divergence. And it's not really that clear. Okay. So, Garley, man, you'd think the targets for this Garley would be 28 cents and 29.45 cents right up here. Back to these levels again. That's XRP. Okay. Litecoin's still in that downtrend. Remember, it's like double bottom. We measured it if it was to break above where it just climaxed at 70 bucks, 71 bucks. If it ever broke that, you're looking for a target around 81.18, and that's it. Just like a higher low potential double bottom. It's got to break this neckline to be a confirmed pattern. It's hit it, and it looks like it might be consolidating, getting ready to run again. Oh my God, what is going on back there? I'm getting hacked. Chat, do you see this? I don't know what's going on. Won't guess. That was scary, dude. Okay. Anyway, beautiful downtrend been going on since the 22nd of June when it pinnacled. Maybe not so much, but if you want to learn more about what I talk about in this stream, joining the Patreon is probably the best way for that. We have extremely education-rich content there, and a lot of it's clips of this show, because a lot of times I do education for free. Okay. Should you be asking yourself why you don't like the XRPs, Jack? No, you're good, dude. You're good, man. It's the Russians hacking me, man. Hold on a sec. It is them. And I have to fix this real quick, okay? Alright. We're good to go, man. We're back at Galaga. Okay. Let's take a look at the futures again. Failing once more to break out of the downtrend you've been confined in since the buying climax June 26th. Okay, so you got a pseudo triangle going on. To some extent, I'm just saying you have price contraction happening, and it's between the upsloping support of the equidistant channel you've been contained within, for a very long time, and the downsloping resistance of the correction you've been in, where you really holding on to the support from 93 to 9100, but there still continues to be distribution going on, but it's okay. Again, you've seen the triangle, so you know it's not just distribution, it is some form of accumulation as well. All right, overall uptrend, and you're in a correction that's been going on for nearly 70 days. Gallagher's drunk. Maybe, man. Maybe. Gold and silver pulled back pretty dramatically the last couple of days of the week, the recent week. Looks like you got some sort of ascending, broadening wedge, maybe on the 4 hour. I don't know how I feel about this song though. Just give me a sec. That's beautiful as well. So it's crazy, man. It's like gold was in an uptrend, right? And then the angle of ascent became steeper because that shows more demand for a particular asset. And that is why there's another channel plotted here on a breakout of the previous channel we were held within. And we respected it for a while, but eventually, yeah, like what happened is President Trump will tweet or China will do something, devalue the currency, whatever it may be, and then gold will just shoot up for that reason, the fundamental reason. Maybe not so much the technical reason. Like silver was at a golden retrace, the upsloping resistance of a channel it was in. And then again, like, oh man, bad news on the market, or world economy, boom, it shot up and hit that 786 and then took a dump. After it went one time up, you know, that up thrust, you could call it almost. But either way, man, here's your daily on gold. Still quite healthy. Beautiful, beautiful uptrend. Gotta admire it. I mean, you gotta admire, like, if you were a viewer watching this stream long before this broke out, this was identified and talked about. And the same stat that I've said a trillion times now, say a trillion one, central banks over the past 6 years, $155 billion they've bought, all right? That is accumulation, right? Accumulation signified with higher lows, momentum shift from lower lows to the lowest low to the higher lows. Momentum shift when you break down sloping resistances and you stay out of them long enough. Coincide that with the higher lows, and there you have it. This is the manifestation of the pattern breaking the resistance, the sell wall. High demand, very high demand. It's weird. It's like, yeah, Bitcoin's getting done with this price contraction, and altcoins look so many US dollar pairs on the altcoins look very primed to break to the upside based on everything that's being shown on the charts. But of course, nothing's certain on these markets, and it may not do that, because how in the world can they do it when the meta has been for like 2 years? Hey, Bitcoin sells off, altcoins get obliterated. They get hit even worse. So it's like, how are the alts going to perform well with all this divergence that we're showing, all these PCZs, all these patterns that have developed over the course of 6 to 8 months, right? How can they play out if Bitcoin dumps? Because they haven't been. These are good questions, right? We're just talking about ones like ADA. Cardano is a perfect example of like, how in the world can this play out if Bitcoin wants to sell off? I don't think it can. I mean, unless something seriously changes, it can't. What's up, MG? So just hanging out, man. Hanging out on 80s night. Okay. Thanks for the 400 people watching, and thanks for the 117 likes. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know. I guess we whatever, screw altcoins or something, right? I mean, like, you know, EOS broke out. EOS broke out of a channel, bullishly engulfed yesterday. Some follow through price action, but just doing nothing now. $3.66 from the high point to low point. If this was actually to play out completely, you know, you're looking for, right? You're looking for between 521 and 654. Those are targets for a break of the upside. But right now, Bitcoin is at 10,300. 22 minutes to go until your 4-hour close. The first 4-hour candle close of the new week. I mean, people saying that Bitcoin's not a currency. I mean, it's, I think, way too illiquid and way too volatile to be a for real currency. Now, people use it. People in the West use it almost as novelty to say, hey, look at me, I'm using Bitcoin, I'm cool, right? But there are other people in third world countries that actually use it because they have to, and that is how it can be a currency. So it's like not, but it is too. I think it's extremely volatile, too volatile to be maybe considered an actual currency. But yes, store value is certain. It is certainly a store value, just a very speculative asset. That's what I say, okay? MG, thanks for the 199 super chat and the little, big hand or whatever. We'll get. So we'll see if we can get to the common retrace levels. Let's see. Just go back over some decent potential trades on the stock market, since I think we've beat a dead horse on the altcoins. I mean, how many times do we have to look at them? Every day while they develop those patterns for a long time. Like, they're all showing like that. Tons of MACD bullish divergence on the daily at critical supports. You know, like it's done it. So they've done it. There might be just different stuff, man. Like, for instance, like Laser. Let me look what Laser did. It was a falling wedge. It broke out. Right? Triple MACD, bullish divergence on the daily. If this isn't, hey, man, take notes. Like, look at, like, what you need to look for if you're a swing trader. I mean, we're looking at daily time scale with 1, 2, 3, 3 lows. Every time you make a low, you're making higher or lower levels of negative momentum. All right, and you have 2 converging down sloping trend lines. Impulse, pattern development, right? What happens after an impulse? Pattern development normally always occurs. And so, yeah, you broke out, and I mean, like, you could fib from the high point to low point, but it's really from, look, man, from the top to bottom, this is where it could go. Eli back, thanks for the 3 Ds. 3 of these, man. Cowbunga, man. Much love. Bitcoin's moving 10,295. It's moved $5 since I last talked about it. What? You gotta be kidding me, dude. Hey, Ruby. Yeah, I mean, like, people, you know, holding Bitcoin, yeah, like, there you can have positions in holding and positions in trading, right? I have hold positions that will be held until my deathbed. Then I have positions where I'll be in and out, right? Okay, that's one that I saw. Nightlight Incorporated. Here's National Oil Well, Varco, dude. I mean, like, what do you want? Like, RSI divergence. It broke to the upside, but it is not broken out yet. So this is one to have an alert set up or something, man, because it could just sell off again, and maybe you get another shot way down here. Another opportunity, like another lower risk area. But also could say it's like a lower low double bottom too. So lower low double bottom, neckline's at 25 bucks roughly, and a falling wedge pattern after getting destroyed and hitting, I think, a 1618 from your previous low to high. No, 1272. All right, so hitting, kind of double bottoming off a 1272 fib extension. Oh, dude, lost. He just died. It's Galaga. Okay. So, no. Multiverse Mind, thanks for the sub, man. Welcome. First sub in 8 years. 80 years. Because 80's 9, right? I don't care who you are. This wedge is beautiful looking. You heard we were going down to 7,500. Okay, well, anyone saying certainly that we're going to 7,500 is a liar and a scammer. Okay, so no one really knows. The person who told you we're going down to 7,500, they're wrong because they don't really know. I don't really know where we're going. Okay, but I'll tell you, we have price contraction. We have a neutral pattern on the tail end of a huge uptrend we've been in since February 8th, since it broke to the upside. All right, so whatever, man. Look at OPK, very similar, right? That price contraction, downsloping trend lines converging, potential double bottom, bullish divergence on both oscillators. It's like low risk. You want to talk about low risk high reward opportunities? Look no further than OPK. OPK on stock market, man. Better than Pundycoin. All right. Activision's doing fantastic. Okay, move on. Hopefully you got that in your mind. Here's SRRK near the 1414 fib extension from its low to high, potential double bottom with bullish divergence on the second low, class B bullish divergence on daily. I mean, what do you even want? What more do you even freaking want? Potential opportunity, right? MHH, illiquid. The only one issue with this one is not very liquid. Okay, it broke its downsloping resistance, kind of rounded out a little bit. Momo shift, right? Higher lows when it was making lower lows. All right, add a critical resistance. Let's see if you can ever break 615. Might have some smooth sailing up to 714, between 714 and $8.80. I think 8.35 will be another major resistance. All right, so think about it. Where is it reversing right now? And now it reversed here. You could just get the same crab where it runs up, rallies, retraces, and then dumps again. Okay, but you got to think about how deep the retrace is becoming, right? Low to high, 78% retrace. That's very deep. Some people see value at the 786. A lot of people see value at the 886 for real. All right. So yep, reversed it at the 786 and reversed at the 618 too. All right. MHH, Maztec Digital Incorporated. TK. We looked at these today, but I'm re-looking at them because it's like opportunity versus just staring at some S coin that we've looked at every day for like a year that is maybe showing potential for upside, but again, it's like the guy just killed his own spaceship. Get wrecked, dude. And he just died. Wow, he just got... Wow. That was rough. Alright, man. So we got 13 minutes left. Running out the clock, I guess. So there you go, man. Range bound. Kind of higher low double bottom. And at a 1414, kind of double bottoming off a 1414. Right? Held again. Now you're making a higher low after making the same low. Accumulation. So very good opportunity, or very good chance this could run to the upside again. Look, it's like X, A, B, C, D. Yeah, 886 is probably around the top of the range on TK. Bibs nuts, man. BIB, BIIB, Biogen Incorporated. Right, you could make the argument, yeah, it's starting to form a descending triangle now, right? But dude, you're at this critical support. And you've been at this critical support since March, and you've failed multiple times, a multitude of times, to fall, like to sell off. I mean, sellers have been trying so hard, and they just can't get this price lower. And so you sit down here long enough, and it keeps churning sideways. Eventually, the gap will get filled. Right? These are lower risk areas. And it's like people like descending triangle. It's like, dude, you don't even know that. Like, if it was a descending triangle, this would make it valid, maybe, right? If it broke the upside here. If you didn't have this, it was not a descending triangle. You have to have 2 reaction lows, 2 reaction highs, and you still don't really have another reaction low. This is 1 reaction low. Okay, you need to break to the upside and rally near the top to make this another reaction low. So not even valid yet. So whatever. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. Athletic shorts, for sure. Okay. All right, Serge. Have a good one. I'm not worried about BBN as much on this one. Nia, though.
I liked your dolls and robot badges.
Peter Piper, thanks for the 380, man. He likes turd dolls. Thank you, man. Much love. So look at your Tesla competitor in China. It's at a low to high golden mean ratio. At the golden mean ratio, showing bullish divergence on the MACD on the daily. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. But whatever, man. Sorry, it's not whatever some ESC1 you're obsessed with. My bad, dude. All right. Measure move, if it broke out, upside potential $5.45. It's pretty good, man. It's sitting at $2.98 right now. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, just looking at maybe potential bullish bat in the future for SJ and K. You know, it's just like pretty gnarly downtrend. It you know, retraced like 50%, 60% of the way before bouncing, but I think that it's just a lower high, and this is like confirming it's a lower high, and it'll probably sell off more. You might get a chance at 25.86, but I really don't know. So just keep my eye on it. I mean, there's divergence here, really. So it might be double bottoming, like one low, second low, same low, with the higher levels relative strength. All right. Here, oh, this one is one of my favorites. Okay, the ones I was scanning the chart a lot this afternoon. Okay, and this one's my favorite, I think, or second favorite, whatever. So think about it. This asset, West Rock Company, all right, on the daily, from its previous low to high, it has hit an 88.6% retrace, which is the deepest Okay, the deepest retrace. You got atom and atom, potential double bottom, and you've got bullish divergence on that double bottom, Class B bullish divergence. So you want to talk about opportunity, low risk. Look no further. Look, you're double topping at an 88% retrace with bearish divergence. After upsloping consolidation, the impulse upsloping, exhaustion. I'm telling you, man. WRK. So Bitcoin futures now down to 10,340, selling off. Again, pivoting right at that downsloping resistance. And so if it wants to sell off, if market participants want to sell this price off at the support of the upsloping channel, so 98.74. Yeah. See it? 1, 2, now 3. Will we get 4? You're getting squeezed in, man. You're running out of room. The move's coming. Thanks, Caffeine, man. Really appreciate it. Someone brought up Weight Watcher. I think the Black Plasma brought up Weight Watchers. Yeah, Weight Watchers right here. What happened? Did I not chart it? Maybe chart on the other one? I think I still have it. If I did. Oh, yes. Okay, so let's go to it on the big screen. Weight Watchers connect. All right. Very, very deep retrace. 88% or maybe even 90 to 93% retrace from that, low from September 2016. It had the buying climax, $105. That was it, man. After that, from June of 2018 to really May 1st, 2019, almost a whole year, it got obliterated and is now broken out of the channel that it developed, and it hasn't even from the high point to low point hit a 23% retrace yet at 3808. But getting close enough to where you could almost argue, yeah, it's safe to say that this is a valid anchor point for your high to low Fibonacci. All right, so where you expect in time, even look, I think it could very well sell off first. Maybe go back down to 25 bucks, 26 bucks. Look, man, a high on price, higher high on price. You're diverging bearishly on both oscillators. Okay, so you could see a sell off. So, 25, 26 bucks might be a good long. With a stop, I think, probably down at like 16 bucks, which is a lot, I know. But the upside potential you're talking about here is so great. Talking about 51 to 71.89. If all it had to do was make a common everyday scrub retrace, 38% is 51 bucks, man. That's showing how bad this thing got wrecked and how much value it lost. Okay. Futures market is just a kind of a derivative of an asset. It's like the futures. It's like what people are betting on the future price of Bitcoin or another asset, right? You can have all kinds of futures, commodity futures, stock futures, right? It's just another way for degen traders to trade Kappa, right? It's just like another way people can trade, right? People create contracts so they can place their bets on something. Right? We got less than 4 minutes till your 60-minute close. Dude, CLDR, I mean, trash, right? Was in a downtrend its whole lifespan and then gapped down on poor performance of earnings, whether it was guidance or, oh, they had a surprise, but probably, again, guidance was terrible. And so it dumped and kind of just bottomed out to, I mean, it kind of was diverging like a low, about the same low, a little higher, and then higher levels relative strength, no negative. You had positive momentum on the slightly higher low. It had been demolished, though. I don't even know if it was at a 161. It might have fallen below it, low to high. Yeah, it had fallen below the 1618. Terrible, man. Like, just not much help here. So all it did is just recently filled the gap, right? You fill the gaps. That's why I feel confident about Activision Blizzard. $62 is a gap fill. I think that will in time potentially get hit based on what's been happening with it. So yeah, gaps get filled over time. But June 2019 all the way to now, right? I mean, you're talking 2 months? No, 3 months. It took 3 months to fill the gap, and now that's it, right? You're back inside the downtrend. You're not, I mean, look how overbought you are. 83.84 in a bear trend. I don't know, man. This thing, I think it just filled the gap, and it's probably going to go back to scrub levels again at some point. It's just terrible, man. All right. Look, the gap eventually filled. Look up here, like this thing that ran up to nearly fill the gap anyway. It happens, man. Looked at a lot, Leaplot. Okay. Got 1 minute. All right, so let's just go ahead and do it. Bloke on Yates. Four-hour close on Bitcoin. All right. Yep. It's selling off, making lower lows, and it's still somehow making higher levels of relative strength, lower levels of negative momentum still. And now the argument's made it's not Class B, it's now Class A. And that's right at Class B still officially now. Right, big doji, 11 seconds till this. Oh, it's really just more of a spinning top. What they say about spinning tops can go either way. But yeah, man, you got to think an impulse down, a consolidation like this, you would see lower prices. But how are you going to make lower prices right now with this kind of divergence? Right? So that's it, man. We made it. The new first 4 hour candle of the new week has closed. A new one has begun. So James Glenn. Heath, what does that mean? Cosmic O, me too, man. First arcade game? I didn't really play arcade games, but I guess my favorite thing about it would have been probably Galaga. If I ever go to like Dave & Buster's or something, I'm playing Galaga. I like to. Last time I went to Dave & Buster's, like maybe like 3 months ago, I played Galaga on the big screen. It was huge. It's like awesome, man. A lot of fun. What do you mean, what's scrub levels for ATVI? I mean, where it got destroyed. It was at $85 all-time high. It went down to the 40s. Like $40, $38 at its lowest level, and has rallied back. I don't. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's 4 hour hidden bullish divergence. Not really. Not really, man. I don't see much of anything that looks It just looks like maybe you're X, A, B, C, and maybe you're looking for D now, which would be much lower prices. Again, you are near the top of a range. You're near the top of a range. Impulse down. Upsloping consolidation. Right? You have contradicting variables, right? Where low risk areas always, high risk areas, right? And so you're showing divergence in the 60-minute, yet you're at a pretty high risk area, and you know X, A, B, C, D could develop, right? And if you break this, I mean, measure moves the size of that candle right there on the dump. But again, I think there's a square up at 10,861 that could, price could get pushed up. But for now, not looking too good on Bitcoin. It just officially made its lower high, 10,588 from the previous one near 11,000. Sub JDR. Acon's new crypto coin. Yeah, well, I have my own crypto too. They're like worthless. They don't do anything at all. So there's not much to think about. Anyone can create a crypto if they want. All right. So yeah, man, just one of those nights. It's been like that for, I don't know, I'd say probably a couple months, or just like every day the sentiment just disappears from crypto back to the way it was, and eventually it'll probably hit that again, to the levels we were at 3,000. It's just getting closer to that again. So that's all I can tell you, man, is you're near the top of a range on the 60-minute, upsloping consolidation. Normally hints at lower prices, but again, you're showing the 60-minute divergence, and you have contradicting variables in that regard, so it's not as clear. But I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna give you something that's not there, where there's clear indication to believe we're going one way or another. But I did go over a bunch of stocks that are really set up for higher prices. So what do you want from me, right? Like, what can I even do when Bitcoin isn't doing, is not giving the right indications, right? It's not telling us exactly, what the perma bulls or perma bears would want you to hear, right? Sometimes it's not going to be as clear, and that's why you scan multiple markets, not just crypto. And you also know that the altcoins have been showing triple MACD bullish divergence on a daily time scale, and they look like they're getting ready to launch. Well, they already were. That was already the thought. They were already getting ready to launch, but now they're up like 10% or so since we kept talking about it. And now they're down a little bit because Bitcoin's down a little bit. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'll leave you with. So thanks so much for the showing up tonight. Likes, love, support, contributions, everything. You're amazing. So I'll be back sometime tomorrow. Till then, respect the tea.